Ever wondered how to fly an airplane? Well, you're about to find out. The act of flying an airplane can be broken down into a few essential components. First and foremost is the pre-flight checklist. This is a comprehensive list of checks that ensures the aircraft is in optimal condition for flight. Think of it as the safety net under your high-wire act. Next, we have the primary flight controls: the yoke, rudder pedals, and throttle. The yoke controls the aircraft's attitude, the rudder pedals control its direction, and the throttle controls its speed. All three work in harmony to guide the aircraft through the sky. Lastly are the main flight instruments: the altimeter, airspeed indicator, and compass. These provide vital information about the aircraft's altitude, speed, and direction. They are the eyes and ears of the pilot, providing real-time data about the aircraft's status. Remember, understanding the essentials of flight is the first step to becoming a successful pilot. Now that we've got the basics down, it's time to take off. Picture this. You're in the cockpit, ready to conquer the sky. First things first, you'll need to taxi to the runway. This is essentially driving the plane on the ground, using your feet to control the rudder pedals. Next, you align the airplane with the runway center line. This is critical for a safe and successful takeoff. Now, it's time to start your ascent. Gradually apply throttle to increase the engine's power. As the plane picks up speed, you'll feel it wanting to lift off the ground. That's your cue to gently pull back on the yoke. Be careful not to pull too hard or too suddenly. Once you've reached the correct speed, typically between 55 and 65 knots, the plane will naturally lift off the ground, and just like that, you're airborne. But what goes up must come down. Let's talk about landing. Landing an airplane is often seen as the trickiest part of a flight. But don't worry, we'll break it down. So, you're in the air, cruising at a comfortable altitude. The first step in landing is to start the descent. This involves reducing your speed and altitude. It's a delicate balance. You don't want to drop too fast or slow down too much. It's about finding the sweet spot where you're descending gradually while maintaining enough speed to keep control of the airplane. When you're at the right height and speed, it's time to align with the runway. This is where your navigation skills come in. You'll need to adjust your direction, aligning the nose of the airplane with the center line of the runway. It's a bit like lining up a shot in pool or snooker, only you're doing it from thousands of feet in the air. Once you're lined up, it's time to maintain a steady descent rate. This is where your focus needs to be razor sharp. You're not just dropping out of the sky, you're gliding in as smoothly and as steadily as possible. It's a bit like threading a needle. You need to keep the airplane level while still descending at a steady rate. Now, just before you touch down, you'll need to flare the airplane. This is a slight upward pitch of the nose, just before your wheels hit the runway. It's a subtle movement, but a crucial one. It helps to soften the landing and keeps the nose wheel from hitting the ground too hard. Finally, as your wheels touch the ground, you'll gradually reduce the throttle, allowing the airplane to settle on the runway. This is the home stretch. You're almost there. Just keep everything steady, keep your hands on the controls, and let the airplane do the rest. And there you have it. You've just flown and landed an airplane. Remember, practice makes perfect. Happy flying.